Well, welcome to Golden Week. Friday, finally, I would say, once again, that the weather has finally passed and now we've got decent, proper weather again. Hopefully. Anyways, oh my, it took freaking forever to get down here. Golden Week, mate. So most things are closed now until like next week. Now, Golden Week ends sort of early next week, and early next week on the Tuesday there is actually one of my favourite auctions that are on. It's far away. I'm thinking of going now. Oh, dragonfly. Okay, now we won the lotto, so that's good. If you see here, I've got 9, 19 and 22, and on the very next line I've got 8, 22 and 38, which means they're 3 natural numbers. If you get 2 natural numbers and 1 substitute number, or whatever they call it, bonus number I think they call it here, you don't get shit. But if you got 3 numbers, now I would prefer to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. Someone won, one person won 6, like the equivalent about, probably about $4 million. That wasn't me. But what I did do is win this. So Lotto Lady is in the booth, and so this, at least today, I get to extract some dough. I've been doing alright on the Lotto lately. I won $20 another time. Let's see how we go here. Hello, Hichua. Nya 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 nya. Winner. Ichioku Grai Kudasai. That means like give us $1 million. Let's see. Well, look at that. 2,000 yen. Let's buy a scratchy. Yes. I'll buy a scratchy and then I'll get another Lotto 6 for Monday. Hey, we'll see how we go. Ja, Hitotsu Lotto 6. Chotto matte ne. Alright, let's figure this out. The rice field of contemplation. Fire going on. I could hear the trill of a mountain hawk. It's over there somewhere. Alright, it's push-ups time. Look at this fire, huh? Well, that smells awesome. The smell of fire and weed. Smells, seriously, when they burn off certain times of year in the farms around all the grasses and stuff, smells like marijuana, man. I'm no dopehead though. I've tried a few times here and there on the hippie trail. I was on the hippie trail for 6.5 years, but anyway, look at that, bumper to bumper on the big monstrosity. Fucking hell. Yep, it's the beginning of Golden Week, so pretty much everything shuts down and they open the cages and let them out. And so they let the slaves out. Alright, let's get some push-ups in. And today there's an absolute babe coming. She's married and got kids and all that, but she's a total babe. And she bought some things off me a year ago and contacted me because I gave her some free stuff too, like some camping gear and all that. And I opened this aluminum camping table-y thing. It's got these fold-up table with these screw-in legs. And I managed to forget one of the legs to ponk it in there. And I contacted her. I said, "Oh, that free table I gave you, I managed to find one of the legs. I forgot to place it in." And I'm like, "Oh, bloody hell." So there's a few things that some people might have left behind or something like that. Like there was some kind of rubber seal or something from some kind of tool or something, not absolutely necessary for it, but or a case or some bloody thing. So I just sort of kept it on the shelf, and I for this bloke, because he said he'll come over and pick up some more gear, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, we've got that thing for you, blah blah." Anyway, so I plunked it on the shelf. When I was cleaning up one time, I thought, "Oh, I'll just dump all this stuff in these blue bags, these non-burnable, non-combustible things." And I looked at it and I'm like, you know what, because I was cleaning up, I was like, she might show up, you know, who knows. And so I just left it on the shelf. She contacted me a few days ago and said, "Oh, do you remember me, blah blah?" So I said, yeah, because I contacted me. I said, oh, I found that table leg, and she said, oh, because now it's good weather time, it's time for going camping and all that, and she contacted me. I said, yeah, I'll have a look in the warehouse, see if I've still got it, and no, it's there. So she's going to show up today in the afternoon, so that's good. Total babe. Anyways, let's get some freaking, that's what I'm doing today. Bought some electrical connectors so that we can work on that. We found that we do have 200 volts now connected to that new warehouse, so I'm gonna get that finalized. We've got a switch system and all that. We've got a socket sorted out now, got all the components, all the componentry. You just need to wire it up, then we'll fix that drainage. I'll let you know what's going on, documenting my existence. Right here, let's get some, come on soldier, you can do it, get down, get me freaking whatevers. Oh yes sir. Place that file right on the concrete there. It's old and buggered anyway. The bastard of a thing. Hey, look it up. It's called a bastard file. I'm not kidding you. Now, what I've been doing is getting that grinding wheel, the cutting wheel on it, and just going over a whole load of these screws have been sticking through. So I've been doing that and just lopping a bunch of all this sort of stuff off, so that just for the reasons of safety, you don't want to go and scar. Oh god, I've seen some rough work. I've seen that happen many a time. Alright, the tunny fella and I were in here. We set this unit up here, this chain clamp setup. That should suffice for some heavy shit. That's that cable I've always wanted to do something with. I bought it years ago, never did nothing with it. Tunny fella came over with some chains and with hooks on. I'm like, right on. I said, I'll just go cut them. And he goes, oh, I've got a little cutting machine going on here, so sweet. We've got our water situation. It works. Ain't pretty. I swore to myself, I'm never going to show anybody that. Oh, doesn't that look nice? Now that's some silicone. It leaked the first time, so I went to town on it. Ooh, there we go. We've got water, mate. And look at that. Sweet. Just have to make some improvements to the outer drainage. There's a drain along there. We'll figure that shit out. Got our little mini washing machine going on here. Oh, he had that going earlier. Got that going. Got a carburation situation going on with this frickin' dealy wheelie here. Yeah. If you take that filter plastic cover off and just spray some brake cleaner in there, she'll fire up beautifully. So there's a blockage in the jet, and it's a tiny bloody thing. I don't have a mini jet, one of those cleaner type of deals. You get these different sizes that you can plonk through it. Air hose didn't do shit. Had that off, didn't do shit. Still blocky jizzes. What a pity. The tunny fella got in there with this other unit, some other unit, and cleaned all this shit up. We cleaned all this shit up too. Mama San was here, or Basanya. She was hooking into the work. I think she was enjoying it, like washing all this shit. She was working for hours. We were like, no, why don't you sit down and just relax? She'd sit down for 10 minutes and whoosh, back up and back to work, mate. She was well into it. Right, we've got all the kit we need to run off that run to here. I want to run to here so we can lift some heavy shit up here. We've got this sorted out. Not that one. Here we go. The electric winch. So we set that up, and we're like, right, we might place that up higher at some stage. Depends if necessary. So that's happening. Yeah, so we can run 240 volt. I would do it today, but sun's starting to go down. I've got plenty of shit here to do. We're gonna get some nice big flashy thing. I'm going to get some kind of roll with mosquito netting and do something with that and sort of roll it or some shit. I reckon that'll be the cheapest and betterest idea. But things are coming along. I've been doing some other shit. Just doing shit. Right, that's right. Right. But we're getting there. We're getting stuff done. Getting shit done. Alright, let's cut some more of these buggers off. I think I'll come here on the morrow. I'm not going to the market over the weekend. I've got all this other shit that needs to be cleaned and moved and all this bulldust. So, and most of my good stuff's gone. I've got plenty of good stuff, but people just don't want. I don't know. They practically want you to give it to them for nothing at that place, or they probably want you to give them money so they'll take the shit away. Some of them are so freaking catchy. You can't believe catchy means stingy. Alright, let's continue on, shall we? We've got more screws sticking up out there. And some quite high too, so we'll have to figure out how we're going to get up there. I might tear all this shit down and then bring the rig in here, chuck that on the rig, then do that. But that'll probably be for tomorrow if it's not. I'm just spitballing here, okay? But that's what's happening today. Yeah, that's what's happening. Trying to solve this issue with this bloody weed whacker thing. The tiny fella decided to put some two-stroke mix in it. There's Crowy keeps calling to me. I chuck some rice up and he keeps calling. Oh, and to be honest, I'm busy trying to deal with this shit. So he's gone and put two-stroke oil in it. It's not two-stroke mix. No, he's put two-stroke oil in it. No wonder it wouldn't go. Just oil and not a mixture of like 50-to-1 ratio of a little bit of oil and gasoline. So now we've got more fucking issues. God, I wish I just didn't go near it. Oh, that reminds me. God damn it. Oh, I'm gonna go get that gas tank. See if we can solve this issue. I did momentarily happen upon a beautiful sunset. Should have been heading back to the ranch by now, but now I've got to try and fix this frickin' problem. Hey, tiny fella with his carelessness, he just decides to put like 500 billion litres of two-stroke oil, not mixed. It must have had like a bit of mixed two-stroke in there, just a little bit left. And so he's dumped a whole bunch of two-stroke oil. No wonder it was all gummed up, the carburetor wouldn't bloody move, right? So I'm like, right. So I had to open the carby up and to clean the jet. And so I got it going, but it was running like a turd. And I'm like, what the hell has he put in this thing? And then we had some gasket leakage. Oh, fantastic! With some more fruit tingle swears. I think it might have just been the nuts were just a bit loose. I don't know. I fucking hope I don't have to get a gasket kit for that thing. It ain't even ours. Alright, so now I'm off to the juice shop. And now look, all this fucking traffic. I should not be doing this. Alright. God, I should have clocked it, like when he said, is this a two-stroke or four-stroke? And I'm like, yeah, that's a two-stroke. And he goes, oh, atta, means I've got it. He's found his two-stroke oil. He didn't find two-stroke mix. No, he just found some oil that you use for two-strokes. Right, that you're supposed to mix with gasoline at a ratio around 50-to-1. So it's like 20 parts like of oil, a ratio of like 20 mil of oil to 1 litre. I'm trying to figure this out in my brain while I'm doing this. 20 milliliters of oil to 1 liter of gasoline, regular fuel. Yeah, and he's dumped like so much fucking oil into it. Like, god damn it! So now I'm trying to deal with this issue. Oh, how do I go and explain that to the bloke that owns the fucking thing in the first place? Now, sometimes you got to write down all this bullshit now because of terrorism. When you go to the gas stand and put a couple of litres in your juice can, you know, just all this. I'm doing this. This is just bullshit. That's what's happening right now. But I'm not going to let it frustrate me. I'm not going to let it piss me off. Alright, 163 yen a litre. I want a couple of litres so I can use it for some other shit. So roughly $3.20, 320 yen will give me a couple of litres. Righto. I was in that monologue for such a time talking about how the Tony fellas are going and just dump this fucking two-stroke oil, and not mixed oil, just oil in, and it must have had a little bit of fuel in it because I got it to go, proper mixed fuel in it, and he's gone and dumped a whole bunch of just two-stroke oil in it, and I've gone off to the service station and dicked around with all that to get a couple of litres, which I will pre-mix myself, and hopefully that gasket is not leaking. Again, I shouldn't be doing this, but what a sunset. Was that not glorious? Yeah, so let's get this sorted out. I actually deleted what I was talking about because there was a chap in front of me and he got tired of waiting at the traffic light because we were starting to question as to whether it was the traffic light or there's something wrong with it. So this motorcyclist in front of me, he decided to just go anyways. After such a time, I figure, oh shit, he's just pulling an illegal move right now. So I'll shortly after the signal for the pedestrian crossing show that it was going to turn red, and then so I decided, shit, he just pulled an illegal move, and they'll probably try to get him for that. Those that study me. Alright, hopefully this gasket is not leaking and we can get it to run correctly, and if that's the case, I reckon I should just come here on the morrow and tear into all that shit. See, oh, there's Crowley, look. Storky. There's Storky, see? There he is. He's a big one, isn't he? He likes hanging out here. That's Storky. Right, now, let us go and try, hopefully, solve this issue. If the gasket's leaking, oh, fuck, then I'm going to have to deal with this fucking thing that's not my problem in the first fucking place. Am I getting pissed off? Do I feel like I should just go and get a beer and then not worry about it? It is a Friday night. Wouldn't it be great? Or get a bottle or two of vodka and say, fuck this! But no, just soldier on. There you go! There you go! Mad shit! Mad shit! Can't fucking believe. Beautiful. You can't believe the shit that I just had to deal with. Oh, she's good. I'm not leaking, that's at least. I had to mix up some two-stroke myself. Look at this. I had to drain what he put in it. Because this, if you can see the colour of it. What's happening? Have a look at this. Here's gasoline mixed. Mazu. Mix means mazu. With knee cycle oil, with two-stroke oil, okay? Now, See this here, this is a 2-stroke. Some people like to run them real lean at 35 to 1. I like to run this standard at 32 to 1, which is a ratio. Now, the tunny fella, he clearly doesn't know about ratios. Now, you can buy 2-stroke. Let me show you. You can buy 2-stroke pre-mix, which is 50 to 1 for these tiny little motors. I actually had to, that was all gummed up, it wouldn't go, whether it gummed up due to all that oil, but he couldn't get it going in the first place, so it was probably just some gunk in the jet anyways, you know. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one, but yeah, it would have gummed up anyways. Anyways, let's go and have a look at this. So I've gotten some of my 2-stroke oil, and I'm very pleased actually that the gasket's not leaking, and it's running good. The throttle cable is kind of snagged in such a way that I thought, oh, maybe because I had to adjust the idle, had to loosen off the idle in order to get to a screw so I could pull off the top dealy wheelie and get an air hose to the jet from the top, because I couldn't do it. I tried to do it from the bottom, both sides actually. Yeah. Anyways, the tunny fella has gotten this. See, this is what I do on a Friday night now. I'm not in some nightclub going, yeah, having a freaking awesome time. Actually, that babe came over today. She's like married and all that, got kids and all that, but yeah, she came over. Hadn't seen her in a year because she bought this thing off me, and I gave her a free like table thing for camping, and the bloody one of the legs fell out, sort of something like this actually. And one of the lower leg things fell out, and I contacted her and I said, oh shit, I found that bit, and she said, yeah, I'll get around to it someday, and she did. She sells things at a market. Anyway, so the tunny fella, this says 2-stroke, 2-stroke oil, right? Now what this is not mixed. So I believe, because it did actually start, I think that it must have had a little bit of pre-mix already in it. And he's gone, oh, it's low on juice, so we'll just chuck some more. He goes, he asked me if I've got some 2-smoke oil, and I said, oh, I don't have any fuel. And he goes, and he found it. And he said, but this is not mixed, man. This is just 2-stroke oil. It's green, see the colour of, you can see in that rim there, it's green. So he's just dumped a bunch of this into it. And so I'm like, oh, he's put fuel in it, okay, you know, because he said he's got fuel, and it had showed that it got fuel. God damn it. So I was attempting to start it, and it was either that gummed it up, or I don't know. I don't know whether he even got it to go a little bit at all. That would have been a telltale sign that it already had a little bit of mix in it. See out the back there. It's really rough with foliage. And so I'll come here tomorrow. I'm keen to get out there and just fucking chew a whole lot of that down. More keen, and I've got this thing going. But yeah, the case was opening it up, the carb, and then blowing out the jet, and I couldn't get it blown out, and I put it back there and pulled it apart again, and went from the top, and to dick around with all that, and then dick around, go and get fuel, and then dick around mixing that. I just sort of put a dash in to what I believe was 20 mil to a litre roughly-ish. So I had 2 litres, so let's figure it right about 40 mil, that'll bloody do. That's about right. Now, as you can see, my fuel is mixed with the same sort of stuff, but also with gasoline to cycle oil. So for the greenhorns, it's probably best to get pre-mix, but it's expensive. It really is. For 1 litre you pay a lot for it for pre-mix rather than just doing it yourself. And so I took that to the servo and then whacked a dash of oil in there, mix, shake it all up, and you're good to go. This stuff here is the best shit you can get for, like, say you check your plug, check for spark, because I checked the plug. This makes me remember. I checked the plug after we squirt, so you got this like little squirty pump down there somewhere, and I checked the plug and it was dry. And after we had a real good go at trying to get it going, so that indicates to me that it was gummed up prior to him even. It had a blockage prior to him trying to get it to go in the first place. So that's that. So yeah, I pop this little, you don't need tools for that, you just pop this little dealie off here, and that'll somehow comes off, if I can recall. Push it in, yep, and then you like that, and then pop it off, and I don't want to deal with this anymore. Right, 2 hands. Now, here's your little chokey deal here. Right there. Yeah, okay, mass, right. Anyways, so you spray a little bit of this brake cleaner stuff, right? Super Blakey, fucking oil cleaner. This stuff is highly flammable and excellent stuff for shooting down the throat of a carburetor, which I did. And the spark plug was really dry, so I gave a bit of that because I wanted to pull it out to see if we got spark. Put the spark plug to any section of the motor itself and give it a few pulls. You might see if you got a spark. So I gave it a few sprays. I figured, all right, it's dry, so a bit of that, and boom, she fired up right away. So that indicated to me that we have a blockage. Okay, so fuck around with that, blah blah blah, and dealing with that. If I was a meanie, I know we've got some air in this, so I could go, hey, you spider, but no. Anyways, the Buddhist in me goes, hey, right now. So clearly that was the issue that we were facing. Look how fucking green that is. That's just green oil that he's put in there. And I believe that it must have had either had nothing in there, or it had some juice in there, or he's just decided to make up his own irregular, just wildly too rich. Yeah, wildly too rich. Okay, let's see if we can fire this unit up again. Right, let's try 2 hands, shall we? One pull, mate. Just one pull. Good work. That's the way. That's the way. The way it's meant to be. Dun, dun, dun. Righto, we don't have that pouring out leakage. That's the way. The way it's meant to be. Dun, 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 dun. If you push that down, that thing on the other side goes up and blocks it. So that's choke on and that's choke off, so that's what you want to run when you want full air. Let's try it again. Oh, there you go, baby. There you go. Now this fucking thing here, I locked that. That locks that from spinning. I thought this might have something to do with the carby itself, but it turns out it's not. So it's just this unit. So that stops that from doing anything. That's just a safety brake kind of thing, and then you wet that like that. There you go. There you go. Nice. Way to go. Nice. very pleased. Now I can go away with my conscience clear. Yeah, no shit, this stuff here, I'm running out. Brake cleaner. If you ever want to get me a present, get me some freaking brake cleaner, disc brake cleaner stuff. Highly flammable. Don't spray it all over me and then like give me a cigarette lighter or something like that. That wouldn't be very nice. But yeah, that's seriously, that's the best stuff for when you're working on motors. We have the technology for that. We do. A bloke wants to hone that thing. I just can't get to that fucking option where that bloke goes. We'll get around it. I've got that. I've got my cylinder right wrapped in there. So I'm going to give it to that bloke, and he says if it's not too badly scoured, we'll deal with that. Fucking actually happy now. Because what I'm mainly happy about is that, the main happiness about it is that gasket isn't leaking. So it's just that the rubber gasket wasn't locked up enough. So there you go. Quite pleased indeed. Get yourself one of these units too if you're going to work on small motors. These are a godsend, mate. Magnetic dealy wheelies. So you chuck your... I'm going to have to clean that up a bit more. You chuck your nuts and bolts and shit in there. Alright? Good. Or if they're made of iron or ferrite or something, they'll stick. If they're aluminum, they won't. Right. Anyways. She goes, mate. I'm very pleased. Now, I don't exactly like the idea of getting in there and cutting weeds and shit down. That's not exactly my favourite job. I'll get the overalls, but I'm well keen to get in there and do that, because we've got access to all that space. It's like fucking fantastic. The mosquitoes are kicking up today. They decided to come out and say, "Hey, we're back, you fucking bastards." Whomever it was that invented mosquitoes, you're gonna die screaming. Yeah, I'm gonna get that bastard too. Alright. Okay, there we go. We've got the fire going up there. One of the carpenters has. Now, I'm gonna clean all that at some stage too. We'll go in there. Now, I wanted to see if it actually was flammable. The Tunny Fellas mix. That's going down now. What's going on here? Gotta fix this fucking thing now. What the fuck is happening? What we're doing? What we're going? What's going on right now? How do I get off the stage? Now, you know, like that. Could be you. Right. Wow, I am very pleased that mission. Okay. That mission is accomplished. Yes. And she ain't leaking, and it runs wonderfully now. It will bloody go. You should have heard it just go bore. It was like trying to fire up a 450 that was made in the freaking 2000s with the fucking decompression levers. It wasn't running too well, and now she's fixed. Looks good, and it's safe too. That was the issue that I was worried about. Alright, so I'm going to get the overalls on and get in there on the morrow and have a great time. No, I'm not. We'll carve a lot of that down so we can reduce the mosquito issue. But I just wanted to get this out of my head. I shouldn't have been fucking doing this problem in the first place. But, I mean, clearly the Tunny fella, like I should have clocked it when he asked me, is that a 2-stroke motor? And, when he said Atta, he showed me. Atta means I got it, found it or got it. Hey, I've got it. I've got something like that. And he showed me that. I just instinctually thought, alright, see my stuff's red, same sort of bizzo. You can get racing stuff too, like this synthetic sort of shit that's racing stuff for units like that. It's expensive to struggle. Anyways, I just instinctively thought he was gonna mix it, you know, and instinctively thought that because he's a scrapper and he uses motors all the time, we pull bits to pieces or whatever, and would have seen at the hardware store 1,000 times 50-to-1 ratio for small motors. Wow. Anyways, I'm glad that I've actually got some juice now. I'll probably go through all of that, fucking around with all that shit out the back there anyways. But B, I can start dicking around with these chainsaws. That one runs beautifully. These run, but I've got problems with the plunger thing. That's mine, but the plunger thing cracked and broken. That's all kind of fucked, and the surround broke too, so I'm thinking about bypassing that. No one really cares about this story anymore. Anyway, that babe showed up at least, and yeah, I was able to get that off my conscience. I kept that aluminum leg up here all that time for over a year. I was sitting here waiting for her to come back. So that's off the conscience. Good. Gasket's not leaking. That's off the conscience. Just didn't lock it up enough. Got my chain breaker. Good. Got all the gear. And I'm just spitballing right now, aren't I? Right, let's squash up and get the fuck out of here. Right, and we'll fuck around with that on the morrow. Right, well, it's a wonderful evening. I've got the windows all wound down. It's all great. Quite pleased, in fact, that through this light here. Yeah, I'm quite pleased. Granted, I didn't want to be doing that at this time. It's like 8 o'clock or something. Yeah, you can hear that metal plate going. Da, 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 da. I'm gonna have to put a bit more wire on that. Secure it better. At least it's not the valve or the hydraulic lifters. Well, yeah, I'm pleased that you know, it turned out alright. That thing was all the jet on that bloody unit. Well, it was all clogged up, and I did have to pull it apart from both sides. I did have to mess about with it. I messed about with it 3 times, but then we got it. Once I realised that, hey, once I got it going, and then I realised that Tony fella's put his own concoction into that machine to get it to run, and you would have seen the way it was running. Oh god, it was all gummed up and globbed up, and it wasn't running too good. So at least having that knowledge, you know, which is great. Nothing's worse than when you're so fucking frustrated because you don't know what the problem is. Like, you're trying to fix something, you just don't know. There's that void, and you just don't know. Oh, I've dealt with that for fucking centuries, and I just don't know, you know. And you can't know. That's the problem. You don't know. So that's a wonderful thing about experience. And I don't know everybody thing, but at least I had some experiences, you know, instead of just sitting there with a sea of frustration trying to get some bloody thing to work. Having some knowledge and prior experience, so you sort of go, hey, it could be this, it could be that, or oh, I've dealt with this before, or I've seen this sort of thing, or seen something similar before, things like that. And it's so much more calming, you know, when you're really frustrated about something, because there's that void that you just don't fucking know. And by God, I blame quite a number of creatures for that. Yeah, thanks for my cognitive years. Yeah, anyways, God, the frustration I've dealt with for centuries, man. anyways, so it's a very calming and comfortable it doesn't sound calming, calming and comfortable feeling of kind of having some formulation. Fair enough, that's just a small motor, but I mean just that the issues when you've got a problem with something and you really want to fix it but you don't know how, you know. So it's only a small motor and it's pretty easy to sort out. But anyways, here's an idea. Don't always assume that when you're digging into a motor, regardless of what it is, or digging into any bloody thing to fix, that the person that's been in it before or been doing something with it knew what they were doing, or they may very well have just absent-mindedly made a slight erroneous error. In this case, it was ignorance, but you know, ignorance is not like, doesn't have a connotations of stupidity. It's just like they don't know, right? If they don't know, you don't know. And so, yeah, to always assume that whomever has been dealing, you know, if it's some kind of high-tech engine or whatever it might be, this freaking space shuttle or whatever, don't always assume that prior it's all been done correctly in the first place. Yeah, so that works, that philosophical understanding works regardless of whether it's some easily fixed unit like that or some major issue. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, but the case with that was two-pronged, wasn't it? It had some obscurity, something preventing the fuel from flowing into the ventricle, the venturi, and also on top of that was a different issue which would have caused the same thing anyways, and all that oil it seems like it had more oil than fuel in it. It would have gummed up that jet anyways, right? So so that actually had two issues that would prevent that thing from running. And that particular unit is a real expensive one too. I wouldn't mind getting some more of those units. I used to have a few of those over the years, and don't exactly like working on the bastards because they're so fiddly. But I see them at the auction house every now and again, and some chaps really go for those, and I figure having a few extra ones of those that I can pull apart and have ready to go if we need be, and then get the job done due to daylight, and then you know, leave something on the bench to fix it at a later time. No one cares about this story, but someone mentioned just recently, it's like, oh man, I checked out your YouTube channel. I was like, oh, it seems you do a whole lot of stuff, you know. And I'm like, yeah. I was thinking, yeah, that's true. I do a whole lot of stuff. Try to be occupied and just do a whole bunch of different shit. It makes life interesting, but sometimes excessively frustrating. The usual me is get pissed off, go beeline to the booze store, and just get drunk. But sometimes I wake up in jail, or it might be 3 weeks later, I'm throwing up all over myself and in all manner of pain. But I just couldn't be fucked feeling like that anymore. But I'd love to get drunk again and go for a real epic, and go for a real long walk and just, I don't know, end up hitchhiking back or something. But currently, so much to do. Yeah, get up crazy early and just sort of do a lot of shit. Yeah, there you go. Alright, okay, so I'm going back feeling pretty good that I solved those issues. And yeah, it's a great feeling when you got this fucking problem and you don't know what's going on, but at least you know a fair bit about what's going on. So that's alright. Better than not having the slightest idea what's going on. How about that? Yeah. I've just had to dick around to go and get all that sorted out. But at least that's solved. Yeah. I'm back. babbling now because I'm tired and I want to get some more coffee. That's the plan. That's what we're doing right now. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Oh, at least look at this. Windows down. Weather's good. Yeah. Finally. Like an extra finally. Because we got like a month of just bullshit weather. It turned really good and then it just turned bullshit for like a month. And off and off raining. Even the drunken...
In the worlds before Monkey, primal chaos reigned. Heaven sought order, but the phoenix can fly only when its feathers are grown.
Right then, that's the end of today. Kind of. Right. Long day, but a lot sort of got done-ish. Yeah, things are getting done. Okay, that'll have to do. I bought a little tub of ice cream for 98 yen. How's that? Yeah. A big spender. A little 98 yen tub of ice cream. Right. I was surprised it was actually open. I think they're going to close for like the majority of next week or whatever. I don't know. Let's freaking go. Right then, that'll frickin' do for today.
Elemental forces caused the egg to hatch. From it then came a stone monkey. The nature of monkey was irrepressible.